The lifetime of a hero can never be captured in a biography, but salient points can help to mirror the life they lived. Reverend Dr. Christian Obasonye Martins was a classified example of a hero. He was a philanthropist, a passionate, inspiring leader, and a ruthless dreamer. Birth and education. Christian Obasonye Martins was born in Ezioma Community, Ikediru Local Government, Imo State, Nigeria, where he attended his primary education, secondary education at Amaimo High School, and tertiary education at Alvin Ikoku College of Education, where he studied history and international relations. Career. Christian started his career with Otis Nigeria Limited, which was later merged to Halliburton Nigeria Limited, where he worked for 10 years and resigned for full-time ministry work in the year 2003 till his demise. Ministry life. Reverend Christian was the founder of the Growing House Church in 2001. His passion for ministry work, caring for people and teaching them the gospel, led to his opening of a training center called Christian Training and Retraining Institute, CTR. His commitment to the ministry led him to the mission field for kingdom expansion at Obermasa, where he planted a branch of the Growing House Church, Possibility Parish. There, he raised leaders and pastors, then proceeded to Iriebe Community, where he planted another branch of the growing church, Revelation Center. His family life. Reverend Christian Obasonye married his best friend, Mrs. Patience Nkim Obasonye, and they are blessed with 3 children, 2 boys and a girl.
I'm Pastor Mrs. Patience Obasonye, and my husband, Reverend Dr. Christian Obasonye. About him, I started knowing him from my early days. We got married. This is our 27th year in marriage, and actually this year, 15th January, made him 57 years before he passed on. So he has been a wonderful man. He has been a loving husband. He has been a father. He has been so caring. Yes, as a pastor, before we were called to ministry, he was working in Halliburton, and he worked there for 10 years. He resigned to be a pastor, and because his heart is to impart in men, to be a blessing to mankind, and he was like looking for an avenue to express that. So the Lord calling him to ministry, he accepted the vision. Actually, the first time it was not easy because he was working at the same time doing ministry. So by the time came, he resigned totally to be full-time in ministry. So, and since then, God has been helping him. He has been in ministry, impacting to men and women, and that led him to open other ministries, which he opened the CTR that he used to impart pastors. He takes care of them, feed them, bless them financially, meet their needs, teach them the word of God, bringing them to the knowledge of Christ. So he has been a wonderful man coming to the home. He has been a wonderful father. He loves his children so much, and his children loves him so much. Even while he was working, anytime he comes back, he will have time for the children. Even in ministry, he creates time for them. And for me, the wife, oh my God. Of course, I don't have any friend. He's my only friend. His last wish before he passed on was to see that the church move forward. Of course, he was saying it then that the Church of Jesus Christ cannot die. He spoke to the pastor, resident pastor, Pastor Madu, and he spoke to him, said, make sure that the church move forward. And the members should always be in a church activities. That's his heart desire. So I would say that his death was did not take him unaware. So he did everything he needed to do. He blessed everybody. He invited people to the hospital and spoke to them. He called brothers, sisters, the ones that are even outside the country, and he gave them word of encouragement that he's going to a better place. He encouraged the church to be strong, that he has labored, and where he's going to a better place. And he said it's not how long one lived, but how well one lived.
He was dutiful and a loving husband, and his children were the center of his world.
My name is Obasoye Victory, and I'm the first son and first child of Mr. Obasoye Christian Ambrose. The relationship I had with my dad was more than a father-son relationship. It was very different. My father was not just a physical father to me. He was more or less my spiritual father and my mentor. We communicated in different ways. He was one man that was very careful and very particular and detailed with his children, in the sense that every decision we needed to make and every decision we needed to carry out, he allowed us to make those decisions, but just guiding us scripturally. My dad was a very different man. There are many things that I always on daily basis pray for to emulate from him, especially in terms of integrity. He's a man that is very trustworthy, and that is something that I always want to emulate and I always look out for. My dad was one man that taught me that Christianity was more or less a lifestyle than religion. He's one man that through his life you could see that he was a Christian. He doesn't have to fake anything. He doesn't even have to introduce himself as a pastor. Just from him speaking, from him doing whatever he's doing, from him relating with people, you already know who he is. He loved God and he loved people. Instead of him looking for the bad in people, he always finds a way to look for the good in people. And that is something I love so much about my father. The vacuum he left behind is something that nobody will fill up. He's one man that I will never get used to missing. Like, his presence, him not being here today, is something that I will never get used to. So, and I hope that I find a way to make him proud. There are promises I made to him before his demise, and I hope that until my very last breath here on earth, I keep to those words and I keep to those promises.
My name is Nancy Obasemi, and I'm the only daughter of Reverend Dr. Oba Chris. Right from childhood, I've always known Reverend Dr. Oba Chris, my father, as a lover of the gospel. He's passionate about kingdom expansion, and he's a man of intelligence. He's very, very knowledgeable. He's a selfless man. He's ready to go all out for anyone, and he's a man that is a born leader. Wherever he goes, he leads. My dad was not just my biological father, he was also my spiritual father. Being my biological father, he treasured me so much as the only daughter. He was there always to support me, even till his last moment on earth. He treated me like a princess. In fact, I would say I was the apple of his eyes. And he showed me so much affection. He was not just my biological father, he was also my spiritual father. He gave me that spiritual covering. He nurtured me in the things of God and brought me up in the Lord. And I'm so proud and glad that he did that, because the person he has nurtured me today to be. I'm that lady that he is. A lady that loves the Lord and passionate about the things of God. His best words to me as a young lady growing up is, my name is Grace. The meaning of my name, Nancy, is Grace. And he's always reminding me the meaning of my name, which is the grace of God is upon me. I'm going to miss my dad's presence so much. That fatherly figure that I used to have is no longer there, and that vacuum he has created in my heart cannot be replaced by anyone else. I'm going to miss his words of wisdom, his encouragement. I know my dad is resting on somewhere, and I will forever treasure him in my heart. His memories will forever remain in my heart. Rest on that. I love you.
My name is Obasonye Gospel Ambrose. I am the last child of Reverend Dr. Chris Obasonye. I really love my dad, and him leaving me is something that I can never forget, and it's created a vacuum in my heart. I don't think anybody can replace that in my life. And my dad, he's always someone that is very supportive to me right from the day I was born. He made me know who I am. He will always tell me, son, know who you are. And that is something that I will always keep to myself. Wherever I am, he will always tell me, know your background, know who I am. And growing up as a child wasn't easy, but my dad, with his guidance, I don't always just see him as my father, but I see him as my spiritual father. With his guidance and his mentorship, I know what to do at all times. Well, my dad is someone that I look up to as a mentor, and not just as a father, a spiritual father. I love my dad so much, to the extent that whenever I hear him say son, I always recognize his voice. Wherever I am, even if I'm in a deep sleep, once he calls me, I always recognize his voice. I say, that is my dad calling me, right? My dad is someone that loves me. I don't think anybody has shown me so much love than my dad. My dad always wants to know where I am, where I'm going to, always checking up on me, always calling me. Whenever I see his call, I will know that I'm supposed to be at home right now. Dad, I'm going to miss you so much. You know, my life right now without a father, I don't know, but I know that you're up there watching me. I love you so much from the depth of my heart. And Dad, rest in the peace of the Lord.
He was devoted and a caring father who gave a back seat, despite his busy schedule, to consistently be available for his family.